Frank Skinner.
Radio.
And welcome to the Not the Weekend podcast here on Absolute Radio, or at least probably on the internet, but through the auspices, most certainly. And this is Frank Skinner. I'm with Emily and Gareth. We are quorate, I think is fair to say.
Oh, I love that word.
Good.
Very trade union.
Yeah.
Means there's enough of us, does it?
That's correct.
Yes, I'm on board.
Yeah. Doesn't mean we're big Quo fans, if that's what you were thinking.
Although I am.
I was a big Quo fan in my youth.
Really?
Did you go full denim? I can see you in full denim.
I think I probably did go, yeah. I remember seeing them at Birmingham Town Hall, and the next day I couldn't move my head. I'd waved my head about so much that I'd done my neck muscles in. How they did it, I don't know. They must have done years of training, like David Coulthard lying with his head just off a table to strengthen the neck muscles. You know the kind of thing. So
I can
anyway,
see
welcome.
you in a jean waistcoat, Frank, and a flare concealing a platform.
I can see you in a jean waistcoat presenting Tiswas.
Oh, that would have been great for me.
Yeah.
Frank, our listeners have been texting in this week. They don't go to sleep. They still keep it going.
They don't go to
Throughout the
sleep.
week,
What kind of
yeah.
people are they?
A bit like me in the 90s. This is...
Yeah, but you had assistants. Let's face it.
Frank! No, you're the one with an assistant who doesn't do his own shopping. Dear Frank, Emily and Gareth, greetings again, he says, from Vietnam. Now, this is from Mike.
Good morning, Vietnam. Is that what that's what Mike's getting at? Okay, Mike from Vietnam. Lovely.
Mike from Vietnam is he's actually emailing us in because we were talking last week. You may not recall, you have a busy life, but we were talking about the worst thing we've ever dropped. Do you remember that?
Hold on, this is not going to be napalm, is it?
No.
I mean, that's not entering into the spirit of the whole phoning, is it? That's bleak in the extreme.
He says, Dear Frank, Emily and Gareth, greetings again from Vietnam. On last week's topic of the worst thing you've ever dropped, I work in a port here, so I'd better not say what's the worst thing we've ever dropped, as it's measured in tonnes, went down with an almighty crash, and is still the subject of an insurance dispute.
It is napalm. I know. This was during my days when I was the pilot of the Enola Gay. For goodness sake. Well, I wonder what that could be then.
I know.
Still the subject of an insurance dispute.
Oh, I love that. He says,
I'd be
P.S.
happy with that as an epitaph.
Can I be a digital snob and be referred to as 4890? One digit up on all the UK listeners who are
I
able
don't
to
think
text
we should
in.
encourage that.
Really?
3 weeks' time, we'll be reading out a list of 54 numbers.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry, but, you know,
Sorry, Mike.
you might not have democracy in Vietnam, but back home in England.
Jack Davis, who is a Scouser living in Malaysia.
Oh, it's gone very international today, but I'm liking Jack Davis. That sounds like the sort of name if you were staying at a hotel with your secretary that you might come up with. Yeah, I'm Jack Davis, and this is my wife, Lynn. Lynn Davis, you see, he was.
I
an
remember he won that Super Sports thing. Do you remember
yeah,
that?
but before that, he was a long jumper.
Oh, was he?
I think
Yeah,
he was
I
a long
liked him.
jumper. He jumped in one direction. I don't know whether his strength was height or length. It's a very fine line.
Hi, Frank. Hope you don't mind me calling you that. I feel like I know you.
Oh, that's the beginning of some dark mail.
And our Gareth, which I'm slightly moved to be called our. by
He's
a
he's
Scouser.
gone to the
That's
up to the level. I say up to the level of our Keith.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been
Our
fully
Keith is my
embraced.
brother, who I've always called our Keith. He's not newly named
No.
at all, but our Gareth, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He says he loves listening to the show, and he says, I am a Scouser. Although
Is
he
that
lives
it?
in Malaya.
Wasn't that
Hi,
a Will
Claudius.
Smith film? That was I Am Robot. It was a bit more technical. And there was less wise cracking in it. Than there would have
I'm the
been.
walrus.
I'd like to see Will Smith in I Am Scouser. Oh, brilliant.
He says, you do a great Scouse accent.
Do you?
Oh, thank you very much. You've heard my Akora.
Oh, of course, you're a Cora. I don't even think of him as being from this planet. I think of him as supernatural.
He's from somewhere like Bootle.
I think he's from Bootle. Yeah, you're right.
Thought you could try this one.
Sorry to interrupt, but Frankie did say this week he has a lot in common with Robbie Williams. We both smoke silk cut. They both smoke silk carts.
Of course, Derek Acora smoked silk car. I thought he smoked some ancient Egyptian cigarettes supplied by his familiar Sam. Sam's his dealer.
So he's got a suggestion of something he would like you to say in Scouse.
I don't like where this is going.
He wants you to say, they do that, though, don't they? Though.
Oh, I think this is one of those.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They do that, though, don't they, though? The Scouse version should be, well, we should let you do it, but he says it should be, they do that, though, don't they?
I know exactly how it goes.
That was perfect.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that was absolutely...
They do that, though, don't they, though? That's good.
It's pretty good.
Frank, over to you.
Did you do that, do?
You went a bit do-si-do at the end.
I did
It started very promisingly.
It's not tricky. I think it's something we should work on.
Yeah.
I suggest we try this as a vocal exercise.
They do that. They do that.
I heard a Scouse at a football match going, grab us coat, Joey, grab us coat.
I had a Scouser ask for a Czech and bossy once. That's very Scouse.
Should I give a warning, by the way, to anyone listening, that a friend of mine did choke to death trying to do a Scouse accent. So,
You're joking?
Yeah, so it's good to have a friend nearby. Because once you get deep into the if it's a bit of saliva goes down the wrong hole. That's what we used to say in my childhood. Oh, it's gone down the wrong hole. We didn't say hole, obviously, because there were no H's in those days. I didn't even meet an H till about 1986. I thought they were asthmatic, the person who was using it. What else?
So I had yet another brutal hairdressing experience this week.
It does look short, babe.
Yeah.
I like it better, actually. I do, yeah. I think it's...
Do you?
I do.
What did I say this morning, then? I felt bad.
You say, it'll grow.
I know.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear when you've had your hair cut.
Okay.
Although it is true, of course.
I mean, I made a mistake going back to the barbers where the man said to me, when I said I have it a bit longer at the front, and he says, to hide what's going on under there, which is the worst thing anyone's ever said in a hairdresser, as far as I'm concerned.
The worst thing anyone's ever said in a hairdresser.
Yes, I think so.
You obviously never went into Sweeney Todd's. What about, is this an ear in my pie? You know that that's the worst thing?
They said some things, but people thought they were talking in a Scouse accent.
Yeah.
He said to me...
Hold on, is this the man who offered you Blur memorabilia?
No, he was quite good in comparison. That was different. That was in London.
Yeah.
This was just by my house in Bournemouth, and he was...
Oh, well, I mean, that's not going to be a proper barber, is it?
I'm saying nothing, Frank, but yes.
No, that's going to be... He probably does deck chairs at the same. He's cutting your hair. He's got one eye out, making sure no one's having a free sit.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he'd been trained. He said to me, "So, do you want it shaved, clippered, or cut on the sides?" Well,
shaved, clippered, or cut?
I don't want to go...
Oh, no, you've got to have your instructions
Really?
up your sleeve. Yeah, I had someone told off the other week for that. He said, whatever you think. And they said, look, it's your hair.
Well, not in my case. But Frank goes in and...
Some of it is.
Yeah, no, this is all mine today.
Okay.
Frank likes what I call evacuee chic.
Well, I always say number 3 round the sides, then they know what the clipper setting
write
is.
this down.
Number 3 round the sides and not too much off the top, which I know is a little ambiguous.
Yeah, that's...
Because one is not too much.
That's very good advice, because I have what is described as too much off the top, is what they've done.
Yeah, well, I did once try. I said I want a sort of returning World War I hero look. And they just looked at me in the... They didn't just look at me, they looked at me in the mirror. So it's some sort of secondary stare I got from the... Life used to be so simple. There was a time that I used to have the feather cut. Do you know what the feather cut is? It's have you ever seen a skinhead girl? And they used to have... It's
the buzz
very
cut.
tight on the top. And then it's like strandly bit. A little bit like Paul Weller.
That's a buzz cut.
Yeah, and well, we called it the feather cut. But nowadays, I don't have a haircut with its own name. And that makes things much easier.
Have you heard of Tintin?
No, but if I went in and said to your average barber, I mean, as you know, I now go to what I've recently begun to call the £9 shop, because it used to be the £7 shop.
And now, yeah.
But they're all young Australian women. They're not going to know who Tintin is, I don't think. So it's good if you can say, I'll have a Purdy or something like that, and people know what it is. That's very helpful. So what you need to do, you need to get a name for the hairstyle you're after.
Like a Middleton. I'd probably, if I was going for a blow dry, ask for a Middleton. Would have been a Cheryl, but...
Yeah, but it depends which Middleton you get.
Oh, I'd be happy with either. That sounds a bit weird. It didn't mean to sound like that.
So you need a... what look... Is there a personality in mind? Is there a celebrity you're emulating in the hair
I
front?
don't think so. I mean, I've been trying to get my hair like Damon from Blur for years.
Oh,
but,
okay.
So maybe that could...
Okay.
Isn't he receding quite a bit?
Yeah, so perfect.
Yeah. I think Damon's trying to get his hair like Damon from Blur, isn't he? Quintessentially. But I think those days are gone.
I've just thought, I don't think you should go in and ask for tinting, because you'll get highlights or something.
No, that's a good point. Well, if I add her J to clear things up.
Do you make...
Jay, that sounds like Brummy for heard you. Does
It
it?
absolutely doesn't. Can I make that point? Any Brummies listening, I can only apologise. Complete nonsense.
Do you make small talk with your hairdresser, though?
I was in a bit of a mood, to be honest. I was a bit grumpy, so I didn't really
hate it when you're grumpy.
I just
It's
wanted
awful.
to sit there and him do it to me.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm sorry for saying
yeah.
Well-
I used to say this to Wittgenstein.
He also, I said, the fringe is a bit long at the moment. I want it a bit shorter at the front. And he goes, oh,
Well, obviously you want it shorter.
yeah.
That's what I'd say. Why are you here? What, you think I'm going to make it longer? Get out. right out.
be like
Right out. No, right.
So he sprayed the fringe and he said, so do you remember how long it was when you liked it? Like holding his fingers
What?
down.
Wittgenstein
Extraordinary
said
comment.
exactly the same thing to me. Oh, this is uncanny. It's like a walk down memory lane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
he's
remember?
rubbish. No, I
What
don't
you should have
remember
put up.
exactly
What
how
you
long
need
it
is a
was.
small, a small biro mark on the forehead.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Maybe the thing is to have your ideal hairdo tattooed on, and then they just work to that. They work to a pattern.
On the scalp. Then
Yeah.
they know. But you see, I have no problem with the cut and conception of the hair.
Okay.
Clearly.
Where-
What I do have is sometimes when I didn't have my regular this week when I went to the hairdresser. He's a nice guy. He's done my hair before, but he's not. He's not someone I have often. So he knows me, Natch. But he started doing my hair, and he said, "Oh, I haven't seen you for ages, Emily. In fact, last time I saw you, you were off to Jules Holland's Hootenanny." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you were going to Jules Holland's Hootenanny," and he was so enthused about it. He was so determined that I'd gone there.
And you hadn't.
No,
No,
would I go there? Plinky plonky piano and a man in a cravat. I said, "Oh yeah, oh," I lied. He said, "Oh, how was it?" I
Oh,
said, "It was
no, you
awesome."
Oh, really?
I totally lied.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Wow.
I know, but I had
Did
no
he ask
option.
you who was on?
No, he started asking a few more questions. So when is it recorded? I just changed the subject very swiftly.
Of all the things to lie about, whether or not you went to Jules Holland's Hootenanny, it's quite down. It's a relegation zone, isn't it?
really is.
I can understand, that. No, I've never met that woman before in my life. I think she just, and all that kind of thing. But no, yes, I did go to Jules Holland's Hootenanny. Oh well, it's been a big week on the sports front, of course.
Yeah. Did you get tickets?
You know,
It's for the Olympics.
I didn't.
Oh, didn't you?
I didn't go into the tombola. The Olympics. Is it a tombola? There's some sort of. You don't just get them automatic. You're in some.
There's a
sort of
lottery element, which I think's fair enough. It should be like that. Don't want fat cats snapping them all up.
No.
No, exactly, Gareth. Did you go online?
No, I didn't. I didn't apply for tickets.
Are you at all interested?
I'm not at all interested, really. I don't really like the Olympics.
You don't really like the
you like
Olympics?
Sports.
Or sports.
You know, if you don't
Okay.
like the Olympics,
So I think-
don't apply for
No.
tickets. That's what I always say.
But you see,
I
the
thought.
website crashed because most people are interested, FYI.
Are they?
And I've actually been to the Olympics. I went to Athens.
Did you really?
Yes, I was
What,
there
the
the
original
entire...
one?
Wow. Where's the Day of the Triffers music? Don't do that anymore.
No, we move on.
They were naked back in those days.
No, I didn't go to those ones. I went to the more recent ones.
Okay. I wouldn't have had you down as an Olympian.
No, but he was lovely.
Yeah.
No, I went with a boyfriend
Did
of
you
mine.
Mount Olympus?
I went with an ex-boyfriend of mine, and he was quite into all things Olympian.
Was it Daley Thompson?
No!
Okay, I can
I
visualise
wouldn't
it.
go out with him now. He's gone a bit funny. No, I saw a picture of him in Hello, and he was at a christening, and he had tracksuit bottoms on and bare feet, and I thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah. Well, he's not the man he was. He's more Wheatley Thompson. He's more Thompson Wheatley. I look at him for flats. I tell you what I wouldn't mind seeing, seriously, and that's
I'll tell you if it's good, because I've seen all of the events.
I quite fancy the synchronised swimming.
Yes. Although, can I be honest? I find swimming overrated. I've seen Phelps up close. Once they're in, and that's it. Better to see that on telly. You get the underwater shot. Men's diving. Now you're talking.
Or if you're in the dining room at Botlins, you can get the underwater shot. I mean, if you can let your relatives know which table you're on, that can come right up to the glass, and that's something that you don't even get on Sky. What I like though, they seem very noble, the synchronised swimming women. You know what I mean? They have a sort of almost haughtiness about them. Whereas the sort of beach volleyball, to me, they look like trollops.
Oh dear!
But there's something I really respect the synchronised swimmers. Do you know what I mean? They really look like impressive people.
Is that what you said to one when you met them? I really respect you.
Well, I respect any woman who has her own nose clips. That's takes so much of the hassle out of everything.
Yeah.
I like a woman in nose clips. I think they're very slimming.
Oh,
yeah,
around the nose.
Particularly around the nose, but generally it just gives them a sort of a...
Or placed all over their bodies.
I'm not... Oh, hold on. Whoa! Whoa! No, not at all.
He's gone all horse at the royal wedding again.
But now make me think now maybe I should have done something about tickets. But I there's always part of me when you're about a year away from the Olympics that still thinks I might possibly be in the shooting myself. I always think if you had like a 2-month really crash course, you could be in the shooting.
2-month crash course.
Well, you don't have to be fit, and they're not that good. They have about 9 sites on the thing, so it's just, it's like getting a... If I got an Xbox now, I'd be pretty good in 2 months. It's a very similar principle. So if I can't get tickets, I'll compete.
I see you... Sorry, I was going to say, I see Frank as wrestling, freestyle. That's very much the sort... If you were going to practice, I think you'd look great. There's a Shirley Crabtree element.
Yeah, there isn't, though. Don't they just stay on the mat for ages?
Yeah, they're a bit boring with it.
Tied up.
Now, men's pommel horse, now you're talking.
I don't know what a pommel horse is.
I think that's very cruel.
Know.
Very cruel to pommel a horse.
What is
those long suede gym things?
Oh,
when they swing swing their legs, their white encased legs in and out.
I know what you mean. Yeah, what are they?
That's great.
Whoever thought we're going to do a big gymnastic equipment thing? We'll make it suede.
Yeah.
Whoever chose suede for that?
I love the suede pommel horse.
I imagine that for the outdoor pommel horses, some poor soul will be up all night Scotch guarding those pommel horses. And that's going to be a filthy job.
So, Frank, I'm sure we've all been enjoying the hot weather. However, it's not without its hazards for me. I'll tell you why. I've had 2 bikini-related incidents this week.
Have you? Blimey.
Yes.
2?
Yes. Frank.
What?
I don't know. I just didn't like the look on your face.
No, that's to have 2 in 1 week. He's careless.
Really? Well, I was careless.
Okay.
What I call this problem is bikinis in an urban environment. I might even sing it. Bikinis in an urban environment. But
I know it's serious. Okay. I can almost smell the ombre solaire as this anecdote begins. So what happened?
Well,
urban environment. What were you skateboarding?
No, I just mean urban to refer to London, a non-beach environment.
It's quite a baggy bikini, like quite urban.
How dare you? No, the first incident we had a BBQ.
Oh yeah,
at my mum's house.
Queue of BB guns.
I was turning the sausages.
He's gone crazy on the pond front. Hold him down, someone.
Sorry.
No thanks. I was turning the sausages. As you do.
Makes a change. Yeah.
And I had my bikini top on.
Okay. What with a skirt or jeans?
I think I had a jean short at that point.
Jean short. Okay.
A jean short.
I'm happy with that.
And so I'm turning the sausages. The entire family's around. My nieces, my sister, my brother-in-law. Suddenly, the door slams shut. We've been locked out. And the oven was on inside. It's very shameless, the whole thing.
The oven was on
Inside the house, and we'd been locked out.
But hold on, if it's a barbecue, surely
We're in
you're
the front. My mother's got a front garden.
Yeah, but the oven wouldn't be being used. Would it?
Yes. Where do you bake your bread? Where do you have your French loaves?
Well, just a minute. But the whole point of a barbecue is that the cooking is done al fresco.
The main cooking was done in the exterior setting.
The main cooking at a barbecue? There are levels of cooking?
Yes.
Well, you could survive for days on that barbecue.
There'll be some
Nothing to
French
worry
loaves.
about.
There were some other things cooking in the oven.
Okay, so the oven was...
Just accept that's how we do barbecues.
No, okay. Has this turned into an Arga saga?
It has a bit. So the first thing I thought, everyone's making suggestions, what can we do? Put one of the children through the window. It's a little bit high.
That's a bit, what, just enough temper? I mean, the windows were all shot, but... Get it wet first, bit of heavier, straight through.
I was angry. So then someone suggested, well, look, we're going to have to call a locksmith and we'll just have to go to the pub. A pub with 2 pieces of triangle? Oh, that's what I was wearing, by the way. I wasn't carrying Derek Lee's.
Okay, there hadn't been an explosion at the local classical concert.
But suddenly, Frank, I felt very exposed because I just thought, we were walking down towards the street and I thought, this looks so wrong. It looked weird.
Yeah.
On the beach, fine.
No, I know what you mean, exactly.
It's a bit odd. Then, incident number 2. Sunbathing the other day over at my friend's house. Who should stroll up? I've got my bikini. It's more of a tankini, this number.
Tankini?
Yeah,
What is that?
tankini.
Green metal.
No. It
With
means...
a turret, long...
Long turret.
Do you know
at
when
the
it's
front.
got 2 straps,
Little
Frank?
man
It's
in.
still a bikini, but it's more a rectangle of fabric. Do you know what I mean? A bit more bandeau, the top. Do you know what I mean by that?
Okay, so the tank girl.
Well, not really.
We'll put some pictures online for
Okay,
listeners.
Frank, imagine a cummerbund on like a suit jacket and that was
Okay.
tied round that area.
Oh, okay.
2 straps.
Yeah,
Okay?
I consider.
So I had that, but it was, it was revealing. Suddenly, I'm sitting
Steady.
there, minding my own business.
See what worries me about
What?
this,
Go
if you
on.
don't mind me saying,
Please say.
before we get into the meat of this, is that I find that with friends, female
Yes,
friends,
yeah.
it's a bit like the Olympics. You know, when you run, say, the 400 metres, it's very important that you keep to your lane. If you don't keep to your lane, you're disqualified. And I have got the women in my life are in various lanes. There's relatives, there's friends, there's and then there's like the sexual lane.
Oh.
Let's call it the love lane. And I mean, and you are very much in my friend lane.
Well,
and
I've never entered Love Lane.
No, but when you, you could still make elderly relative. But when you start talking about revealing bikinis, I think, was that a foot that went into Love Lane?
No.
Okay, I feel tense.
No, Love Lane has got cones all down it. Actually, even more permanent, I think, there might be. than that.
I think probably, I've got some of that. You know that fencing that the students use to charge the police? You know, you think, why do you give that mobile metal fencing that can be used as a weapon? That's what I've got up around my Love Lane.
The door's slammed shut and you've been locked
Yeah.
out, let's put it that
But
way.
I like
No, it's not locked out. It was choice. There's just some bollards. So,
But I don't like to think of you in a revealing bikini.
I
It's
understand.
a different status
well,
altogether.
exactly, and it's interesting that you should say that, Frank, because Jimmy Carr, who's also
Jimmy Carr now is involved.
well, he's not. Him and I, Love Lane's closed as well.
Yes.
he's in the same lane, but he then popped round.
Does Jimmy Carr do Love Lane?
Yes, he's got a lovely girlfriend he's been with for some years.
He
Okay.
He
Yeah.
popped
You're
round,
sure it's
but-
not just his agent?
No!
I imagine he lives with his agent.
No, he's
Okay.
been with his girlfriend for a long time, and she's a lovely girl. But listen,
Jimmy
this-
Carr popped round?
yes,
Was he wearing Speedos?
no, he popped round, but I was wearing the bikini.
Oh.
And so we sort of had a coffee, and I went to make the coffee, and I had the bikini on.
And
I
we're
thought-
not even talking bikini top now, we're talking the whole thing.
Oh,
Complete bikini.
No, not the bottom area, just the top. For someone who doesn't want to go in Love Lane, you're asking a lot
I'm
of questions.
trying to picture. I mean, I wouldn't be troubled about. I've always thought it's possible Jimmy Carr might be blind.
No!
You know how some people look blind? Do you know what I mean? If I saw him in the street, I would offer to help him across the road instinctively if I didn't know who he was. He's got that kind of blindness chic about his face. I don't know if you remember the cricketer Robert Key had a very similar look.
Really?
So I
Was he
think
blind?
So you think he wouldn't have seen?
I think it might be revealed.
He's
in
very
a red
respectful.
top.
He's like you.
Well,
though.
of course he would be. He can't
But-
see you.
But it made me think, do you guys...
Did he have a dog with him?
No.
Okay.
Do you guys find that awkward? So when you come across a bikini in an urban environment, not on the beach? Because on the beach, I think it's fair enough.
It is odd how things change at the beach. It's so okay on the beach. But I have seen a woman on beach. It's fine. I'm relaxed. It's fine. She goes off to get an ice cream, 1 foot on the pavement. I'm appalled. Stay on the beach, and if you're, okay, take a sarong if you're going to go.
There's no excuse for stoning, though, Frank. That's all.
Well, when in Rome.
I think because they are swimsuits, aren't they? They are strictly swimsuits, so I think you have to be quite near water.
I don't. Yeah, there is
that a rule?
something about. I mean, I went round a friend's house once. What it was, I'd say I was about 15, and I decided to do something about my physique. And he said, "Look, I've got weight training equipment. Why don't you come round and it's in the garage?" So I said, "Okay." So what about Tuesday night? He said, "Well, I'll be out, but that's okay. You know, someone will let you in." So I thought, fine, I'll go and pump iron. So I turned up, and now his mom.
Oh my goodness!
She was the mom.
This story has got the start of one of those stories.
No, but it hasn't, because my life has just been several starts to those stories.
Okay.
And then, hold on, there's a page missing. So I went round, and she was the mom we all fancied at school. Right, she was nothing like her mum. She was like, she had a sort of Diana Dawes element to her. I don't mean she was part of the criminal fraternity, but she was, you know, buxom and sexy. Anyway, she opened the door and she had jeans on and she had an orange toweling bikini top.
Oh.
Well, I don't want to play into the cliche. Pardon?
String?
No, it had the proper. Are you thinking it didn't have spaghetti straps?
No, but was it the triangular shape?
It was traditional.
Okay.
But honestly, as I say, it's a cliche, the Mrs. Robinson thing. But oh my God, I couldn't pump iron. I couldn't move. I honestly felt ill. It was like I saw the bikini top. I got the flu almost. I honestly.
Oh, is that what they call it?
I felt sick. I felt uneasy in myself. I just couldn't. I was so bowled over by it. I mean, I realised then that the priesthood was a pipe dream for me. And it was a massive moment in my life. And she said, "Oh, garage, just go through to the garage." And I said, "Thanks very much." And that was it. Oh. But it changed my life.
Oh, thanks.
Orange toweling. I imagined myself getting really sweaty while I was doing it, and then she would come and mop my brow with the orange toweling bikini top. It didn't happen. Also, I hurt my shoulder doing a grab.
Did you?
Yeah, she slapped my face pretty hard. I can tell you. So I agree with you. There's something about the bikini on the beach, okay, off the beach, just
it moves into indecent. What about you, Gareth?
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable on the beach.
You're uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not happy on the beach. You got quite. I don't know what your physique's like.
What were you going to say?
I
You've got
imagine
quite a good body. You were going to say.
I was going to say you have got.
Body.
Have you not got quite a good body? I've got. I mean, I look like Bapu. You know, which is what the Indians call Gandhi. Gandhiji. I've heard people shout out as I walk out. I tend to sunbathe in a large white nappy and small National Health spectacles. I don't know why. It's just always seemed right to me. But no, I've got a terrible, scrawny.
No, you haven't.
No, I have really. I'll show you if you like. Look, hold on a minute.
Oh, Frank!
You see, it's not good. And, so yeah, I don't like to, and I got it into my head that the way forward was a thong.
Oh, really?
Because I thought, if you want everything as much done as you can get at it within decency. And I remember I played in a cricket match, and I was, when the boys in the dressing room saw my thong mark, I got, terrible stick from them. Like I was some sort of, Stringfellow character. Well, I suppose in a way I was, because I was a Stringfellow, very literally. Yourself?
What do I wear at the beach?
Yeah.
I just some shorts, and I really don't like getting undressed. I'd maybe wear swimming trunks on the beach, but no, I'm not comfortable with nudity.
No.
Or even
semi-nudity.
Flesh, yeah.
No. Sorry, it's all right for
you.
You're obviously a very confident person, Emily, if you know what I'm saying. We keep sheltered. I'll wear a Muslim trouser sometimes if it's hot. You know, the ones with a very, very baggy crotch and tight at the ankle.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought some when I was in Turkey. I
Did
bought
you?
them for my girlfriend. She wouldn't wear them, so I wear them. And, oh, God, they let the air circulate.
Well, that's nice. Well, we had. Did you ever have? We had a towel. that
Yeah,
you
we
could
had a
use to-
towel.
used to- no.
Don't think because I grew up in Birmingham in the 70s that we didn't have a towel. I know what you think, well, what would you have used it for? Well, come on.
No, I mean, I think it was my dad's, and it was passed down. It was a towel that was sewn up.
You inherited
into
a towel?
Yes, it was sewn up into a tube, and then had elastication round one end, so you could put it on.
Sewn into a tube?
Yeah.
Someone sat there and sewed a towel.
But remember, they were all preachers in their family. So I imagine they were making vestments round the clock.
It was a bit like a vestment, but with no.
I don't understand
with no-
what it did.
Okay, so and you put it like, and at one end it was elasticated, so you could put it over your head and then get changed.
Oh, that must
inside
have
it
looked
like
nice.
A cubicle.
Oh, it was a towel cubicle.
Yes,
Horrible.
I like that.
I think that's a splendid idea. A towel cubicle. I wish it had a name of some kind, 'cause it would have been great on Call My Bluff. So, a tuildry. Is it a towel cubicle? Is it a Bolivian sheep flute? Yes.
Oh, dear.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.